It is only fitting that the whaling city of New Bedford be home to one of the oldest nonprofit organizations serving those who work on the sea. For nearly 2 centuries, the New Bedford Port Society has served the needs of New Bedford's maritime community, and it continues that role, and is steward of the Seamen's Bethel and Mariners' Home, 2 of the most significant intact cultural resources that represent New Bedford's whaling era. The Seamen's Bethel was constructed in 1830 as a house of worship for those flocking to New Bedford, seeking work on the whaling ships that brought the city wealth and fame. Many would attend services prior to leaving on the incredibly long voyages. Even Herman Melville attended services here before setting out on his own journey in 1841. The Mariners' Home was gifted to the Port Society by Sarah Roach Arnold as a place for transient mariners to find lodging, showers, and laundry services. Together, they make up an important part of downtown New Bedford's historic streetscape and are contributing buildings to the Whaling National Historical Park. In 2010, after the closure of the Mariners' Home as lodging for the fishing industry, the Port Society set out to find a cohesive use for the building. At the time, it sat empty except for the Port Society General Manager's office. The Bethel continued to serve as a non-denominational venue for various events, including local weddings and funerals. Both buildings were in a state of decay, and the Port Society saw the need to restore these 2 historically significant buildings. The Society commissioned local preservation architect J.M. Booth & Associates to begin the process. The result was 3 phases of study and restoration work that included sill work and repair, preservation of historic plaster, repair of historic sheathing, and brickwork. Once the first 3 phases of restoration were complete, the Port Society met with J.M. Booth Associates and the Waterfront Historic Area League to discuss the future use of the 2 buildings. The Society was committed to maintaining the non-denominational chapel for religious and social events, but they were undecided as to how to use the Mariners' Home. The building had never been open to the public during its lengthy history. The group concluded that both buildings needed to be accessible to the public, and that a new museum would be created to illustrate the mission of the Port Society. Utilizing historic tax credits to fund a portion of the project, the Society commenced a capital campaign to raise more than $3 million to bring the project to fruition. The project was designed and approved by both the Massachusetts Historical Commission and the National Park Service in Washington, and then the work began. The buildings needed to be fully accessible while maintaining the historic nature of their facades. A new simple post and beam addition was created, with a walkway from Johnny Cake Hill that answered the need while respecting the historic buildings. This glass and wood timber structure provided elevator access to both buildings, as well as building code requirements and a second egress of stairs. The restoration of the interior of these buildings has allowed the public to experience life during the whaling era with authentic details throughout each space. Located along the plateau of Johnny Cake Hill, with its cobblestone paving and gas street lamps, the Seamen's Bethel and Mariners' Home are unique, intact examples of authentic historic architecture that illustrates the city's maritime history. This restoration project could not have happened without a collaboration of many local community groups. The decision of the Port Society to preserve these buildings allowed the project to become the success that we see today. A combination of the City of New Bedford, local designers, contractors, and private citizens helped to create a facility that will stand for years to come. Preservation Massachusetts is very proud to recognize the New Bedford Port Society and the restoration of the Seamen's Bethel and Mariners' Home with a 2021 Paul and Niki Tsongas Award.